CBS Sports, your home for the NFL and Thursday night football, SEC football and the Masters, the PGA Championship and PGA Tour, March Madness and the CBS Sports family of networks. And coming this football season, your home for Super Bowl 50. CBS Sports, expect it here.
The PBA Summer Swing returns. Last year had it all, a 300 game. New stars taking center stage. Established stars returning to the winner's circle. And the PBA's most dominant player proving just how good he is. What's in store for 2015? We'll find out. As the best bowlers in the world are on CBS Sports Network, starting with the PBA Wolf Open now. This is Oklahoma's Grand Casino Hotel and Resort Event Center in Oklahoma City. Today we start the PBA Summer Swing with a PBA Wolf Open. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Oklahoma City. Great to have you with us. This is Dave Ryan. I'll be joined by my broadcast partner, Randy Peterson, PBA Hall of Famer, in a moment. This is the third PBA Summer Swing on CBS Sports Network, second straight year. We've been here in Oklahoma City. When the dust settles on the Summer Swing, we will crown 4 PBA Tour title winners and the coveted King of the Swing championship as well. We have stepladder finals today. It starts with 15-time PBA Tour titleist and former PBA Tour Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year, Tommy Jones. He'll battle Gomes. From Colombia, Kyle Troup will make his first career PBA Tour TV appearance today. Bill O'Neill, who won the Badger here at the Summer Swing a year ago, competes again looking for more success in OKC. And Marshall Kent will look for his second career title, returning to TV in Oklahoma City as well. Randy Peterson joined laneside now by Tommy Jones.
Thanks, Dave. You know, the last time Tommy Jones won was in 2013 in Saudi Arabia. Tommy, it's been about 7 years, though, since your last win stateside. How do you climb the ladder today and capture your 16th win?
Well, you know, there's some good bowlers that are on the show, and you got Kyle, you got some youth, you got all kinds of things. But, you know, it's going to transition quite a bit here, so hopefully running the ladder is an advantage and being able to stay on top of the moves.
What's the best way to attack this extremely short 32-foot wolf pattern?
As close to the edge as you can get, and hopefully everybody's on their seats like I will be.
Thanks, Tommy. Good luck.
Randy, Tommy, thank you. More on the Summer Swing. Wolf Open, shortest pattern at 32 feet. The Bear Open, most challenging, 40 feet long. The longest pattern at 52 feet for the Badger Open. Oklahoma Open. Bowlers qualifying on all 3 patterns. The top seed will pick the pattern for the TV final. And the King of the Swing. Great chance for another championship here in Oklahoma City. Ready for bowling. Jones, Gomes, head-to-head. First match.
And Dave, I was talking to both players prior to the start of this opening match, specifically Andres, and I asked him about his ball reaction, and he sounded a little unsure. He didn't know if he was going to throw urethane or reactive resin. Looks like he's starting with urethane. That's old school ball reaction there. That urethane bowling ball, very subtle move in the back part of the lane, and the 6-pin goes to the sidewall and takes the 10 out perfectly.
Late trip on the 10. Good start. Gomes, here's Jones. Boy, he'd like that cross way over, misses.
Can't do that.
The head pin.
One of the fans caught Tommy Jones right in the middle of his approach.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's the only way that a player of this caliber would ever miss that far left. And you can see the short oil pattern and the tons of friction causes the reactive ball that Tommy Jones is using to cross over, missing the head pin left.
respond. Misses the head pin. Early open for Tommy Jones. Disaster start. More on this Wolf Open lane oil pattern. Randy, what are the keys here?
Well, it's the shortest of all the named patterns at 32 feet. There's a lot of friction out there, Dave. That's extremely short in terms of length. Remember, the lane itself is only 60 feet long. And so that's why the players have chosen to use urethane bowling balls to try to cut down on some of that ball reaction. Tommy Jones, however, he's going with reactive. He can throw it hard enough and flatten his hand out enough.
How will Tommy respond? Quite nicely. Punching 10 down into the pit.
Sorry, Dave, you heard in his interview that he has to keep it as close to the edge as possible, and this is just perfect. This ball going out to about the 2 board there, and then it just rips back, and that's 10 in the pit.
Exactly where Tommy was practicing. Way right. It's got to feel good for Jones to respond after the open. Back to Gomes. 10-pin stance.
A good shot, but you can see the little softer pin action because the urethane bowling balls, they don't have that big change of direction. They're not going to drive through the pins nearly as hard as a reactive resin ball, and that's why the 10-pin there is left standing. That's the flat 10. You can see the 6-pin actually was laying in the right gutter.
Grace hoping for his 3rd career title. Whoa! Whiffs on the 10 and returns the favor with the open frame.
Well, even the plastic ball hooked at that spare attempt there for Andres Gomes. The players are going to try to play as close to the edge as possible. And I'm talking right up the edge. The players with more hand that decide to use reactive resin, they'll move a little bit farther left with their feet, and they'll actually swing the ball to that zone on the lanes.
How will Andres respond to his open? Pretty well. Trip of the 10. And a strike for Andres Gomes from Colombia. Now lives in Weston, Florida, outside Miami.
Now watch the 6-pin this time, Dave, as it goes to the sidewall and catches just enough of that 10-pin.
Some keys for TJ and Gomes. Crosses over again, almost goes Brooklyn.
Get it going that way. Oh my God.
Well, no excuses this time for Tommy Jones as he pulls another shot on this right lane. This time he catches the head pin running away Brooklyn. Leaves the 5-9. Tommy Jones' key is keeping his legs underneath him. He really has to rely on his lower body strength. For Andres Gomes, he actually showed me video of when he was bowling really well back in 2011, 2012. I'll get to that in a second.
Right lane troubles for Tommy Jones. Does pick up the spare, though. Has his mark. And a very even match early on here.
So Andres Gomes, back in 2011, 2012, when he was bowling his best, his swing was a little bit lower, and he had some upper body tilt. He showed me video from last year. His swing was higher. He had no upper body tilt, and thus it created a very steep swing. So what he needs to do is keep his legs moving, get that tilt back, have that swing get a little bit lower so he can create a bigger flat spot at the bottom of the swing.
Whoa! In the channel. And you think
Didn't cut
about
that one off.
Watching him practice so far right, Randy, as you pointed a moment ago. Danger in that.
Well, this is just overcompensation from the 2 shots on the right lane, and you heard Tommy say it when he was on the right lane, hey, you got to get the ball to the right. Well, the problem is if you get it too far right too quickly, it's going to be 0. This is real messy, real early. I think Tommy's going to probably switch to that bowling ball.
Can't get out of my way. The guy's, he's got me so spooked over there. He's got me so spooked over there.
Tommy Jones talking to Rob Gottschall, his tour rep, explaining that he's a little spooked on that right lane. I think Tommy's going to make a ball change here in the 5th frame the next time he's up on that right lane.
He's going to have to, Randy. Suddenly a 20-pin lead on the bench there for Gomes. Going to expand to 30. 4th frame. No help, though, with the 7.
Right lane looks like it's a little tighter down lane than the left lane, just based on Andre's ball reaction. You know, I think it's very interesting in that Andre's actually made the telecast on this very short pattern. And when interviewing him, he told us both he doesn't like the short patterns, but he found a way to drill urethane, changed a couple layouts, and he's here today.
There's the 7-pin. There's the mark for Gomes, but he can't capitalize with a strike. 4th frame.
Gets the ball into the swing nice and early, walks left. Now this is where things have changed for Andres. This is much lower here at the top of the swing right there. Much better position as he enters the foul line. Swing is not nearly as steep as it was just last year and the year before where he really struggled.
Lane level look at it, and all 10 down into the pit for Andres Gomes, 2-time titleist. 2011 and 2013, both the Carmen Salvino Classics. One in Vegas, one in suburban Detroit.
He's going to move one right on the right lane. You can hear him talking with his tour rep. There's more friction on that lane for him. He is dialed in on the left lane. Problem is he has to finish the match on the right lane.
That's a lot better on the right lane. 60 feet. 2 success for Tommy Jones. That's got to feel good. Telling his coach a moment ago how he felt spooked on that right lane.
It feels good just to hear you say 60 feet to success, my friend. Tommy Jones makes the ball change. He goes to a ball that is non-reactive, and that forces his feet right, and it forces a much straighter shot, straighter trajectory through the front part of the lane.
Got to be a huge confidence boost. Strike here, right back in the match, which he does, crunching it into the 1-3 pocket. And Tommy Jones right back in it here, halfway home. PBA Summer Swing on CBS Sports Network is underway.
Oklahoma's Grand Casino Resort PBA Summer Swing Wolf Open on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Hammer Bowling. Nothing hits like a hammer. By AMF. Roll this way. And by DV8. We are DV8. Tonight we bowl.
This marks the second consecutive year PBA Summer Swing contested here in Oklahoma City, both at Fire Lake Bowling Center in Shawnee and at the Oklahoma's Grand Casino Hotel and Resort in the OKC area. And a good match to open up the Wolf Open. Gomes can expand the lead to 20 pins here, works on a strike, 6th frame. Close match. On the right lane. Finds it.
Andres hasn't missed the pocket. He finally gets dialed in on that right lane, Dave. Talking with his tour reps after the last shot he threw on the left lane, he said he was going to make an adjustment, and it was a good one.
41-year-old, as you see the arsenal for Andres.
Using pitch black. This is what I used on tour back when I started in the 1980s. A urethane bowling ball.
So he's going old school. And it looks pretty good.
Yeah, really good. And he answered the double that Tommy Jones threw in the 5th and 6th frame with a nice 3-bagger of his own. And now that he's lined up on the right lane, this could spell a lot of trouble for Tommy Jones. With the disastrous open in the 1st, then the gutter ball and open in the 4th, Tommy Jones right now has to be telling himself, I have to strike out to win this game.
And that's the way to get there for Tommy Jones. A big key Tommy told us about yesterday in our meetings with him, my balance. Getting himself to the foul line with better balance. As we check the track tech talk on Tommy Jones, let's look a little bit about that balance, Randy, the approach.
Well, it's all about his lower body and using his legs, and we touched on it at the beginning of the show, but it's all set up in the 4th step. See how he collapses that right knee? That helps him get into a straight slide. And watch him power off of that step. And the great knee bend there at the finish.
Left lane, 8th frame. Help on number 10, no. Still stands.
Boy, that was really good and not a very good break for TJ. Watch the head pin come off the sidewall and goes in front of the 10 pin.
Knew how much he needed that. It wobbled but would not fall. There's the mark. 10 pin down. Tommy told us yesterday really misses holding that trophy up after a championship. Does have 15 titles, but as you mentioned with him in the pre-match interview, been a long time since he's won stateside. Wants to get back in the winner's circle so badly. It's not easy for a guy like that. Hall of Fame credentials, without question.
He's a shoe-in. Remember, he's got 2 majors to go with the 15 titles, and he really likes the summer swing. He had a lot of success last season here in Oklahoma City. Looked like he got that left to target. And then
he'll take it. He knew it.
He was. I'm not sure he expected that result, but he was pretty happy with it. You can see that's inside of target, well inside of target, and that urethane bowling ball holds its line nicely, but the 6 goes to the wall and does what it's supposed to do.
Andres grew up in Bogota, Colombia. His dad was a big golfer, but at his dad's country club, they had a bowling center, 2 lanes. And his dad would go out and play golf 4 hours around. Andres would bowl 20 games. Other members of the country club wanted him to get off the lanes. He was there for hours. Loved the sport from a time he was a little boy growing up. 10 pin.
Nice break on the right lane, followed up by a really good shot on the left, and watch that 6 pin this time. There's your ringing 10, Dave. Andres right now is in the 2 teens. Tommy Jones is at a 187 pace, meaning if he strikes and spares the rest of the game. Missed one of these earlier.
Not this time. Finds the 10, finds the mark. How does his tilt and approach look? I know we broke it down earlier. It's a big part of his improvement.
Much better. His swing's lower, and that was the first sign. But, you know, once his swing came down, it was less steep. Now all of a sudden he had the tricks at the bottom of the swing, at the release point. He could do things with his hand, and that's the real, that's the real big advantage that Andres has out here. He's not a high rep guy, doesn't throw it fast, but he can do a lot of things with his hand.
Power shot there, right lane. Foundation frame for Tommy Jones in the 9th.
Well, he can strike out and shoot 207, and that would force Andres Gomes to mark in the 10th frame. Using the classic U2. Both players using urethane. Tommy Jones started with reactive. I bet he's really regretting that now.
Virtual channel, perfectly played this time with a hook into the 1-3 pocket. And he strikes in that left lane, but the early troubles put him in a huge hole. Probably will be the end of Tommy Jones in this match.
Dave, it's really tough when you're practicing prior to the start of the match and you're trying to figure out which is the best line, where do I put my feet, what target do I look at, what ball do I look at, and you only have a one-game match. And Tommy Jones chose incorrectly based on what he saw and what he was feeling. And when he got it into that early hole after the fourth frame, he had nothing to lose, so he went to the other option, and the other option right now was the right one. Missed it at the bottom. Andres Gomes just needs to stay behind the foul line, and he is going to advance to take on Kyle Troup.
4-8 down. There's a mark for Tommy Jones, one of only 4 players in PBA Tour history, along with Belmonte, Barnes, and Albee, to have won both the PBA Rookie and Player of the Year honors in his great career. The Hall of Fame is wrapped up for Tommy Jones, but today, not his day. And Andres Gomes, bidding for his 3rd career PBA Tour title, just needs 5 to advance. He's got that. He's got 9. He's got to win. Climbs the ladder. And youngster Kyle Troup awaits Andres Gomes. Tommy Jones told us he didn't want to overthink this. Didn't want to forget how to win. Unfortunately, early, a couple of tough decisions. Gomes takes advantage, and Andres Gomes is through to the next round. Kyle Troup, first career TV appearance awaits. Underway. Andres Gomes has knocked off Tommy Jones 215, 195, but he can learn things. Moments ago, speaking with his coach, Timmy Mack.
Yeah, it still looks good.
Yeah, on the right lane was actually good. And the left lane, you went ring 10.
You got it in a little bit and then late.
Yes, and he kicked. Yeah, and he kicked beautiful.
I think we stay with the old one.
Yeah,
stay with the old one. I just kind of see how the match progresses. If it doesn't go through him the right way,
I still would like to throw 1 or 2 shots with the elbow in that minute, right?
Oh yeah, no, the practice, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, a couple and then a couple and see what happens.
We know what we got with the urethane. We'll see how much he changes it over there. Hard to say.
But so, Randy, do you like the strategy between coach and player there?
I really do. What Tim Mack is giving Andres Gomes as options. Once that reaction looks a little too soft with the urethane, he's got to go to something stronger. The only thing that's stronger is going to reactive resin. That's the ball that Tommy Jones tried to use in the first couple of shots in that first match, and it was disastrous. As the oil starts to move down the lane, though, that back-end reaction for the reactive resin balls will kind of tame down a bit. So all they're trying to do is just keep their options open.
And now a chance to see the 5th ever father-son duo making TV. Kyle Troup, the youngster out of North Carolina, and very colorful with his outfit today. And Dad Guppy right behind. Yeah. You know Guppy well, former travel partner of yours, a very good friend, an 8-time titleist on the PBA Tour.
Yeah, you know, Guppy is probably one of the most revered players that has ever laced him up on the PBA Tour. I don't know of a soul that doesn't like Guppy Troup, and he's taught his son well. But Kyle Troup uses 2 hands, doesn't use his thumb, and throws it extremely hard with an extremely high rev rate. And no matter what his dad accomplished in this sport, no matter what advice Guppy gives to Kyle, there's not a whole lot that can prepare you for the first time under the bright lights.
First ever TV appearance. What would you tell Kyle Troup right now?
I'd tell him to just go out and try to have as much fun as you possibly can. You're going to be nervous, but try to channel that nervous energy and make it a positive. The nerves, the pressure, that's what makes it fun.
Stepladder finals continuing. Wolf Open. PBA Summer Swing on CBS Sports Network. It's Gomes Troup head-to-head when we return to OKC with Guppy, the great sunglasses, watching closely. Welcome back, everyone. Oklahoma City at Oklahoma's Grand Casino Hotel and Resort Event Center. Summer Swing Wolf Open continues. Randy is laneside with the troops, Kyle and Dad Guppy.
Thanks, Dave. You know, I can't remember the last time I was this colorful, or at least standing next to two colorful people. One of my favorites is standing to my right. Guppy, Troup, you won 8 times on the tour, made lots of shows. You were known for your flamboyance and just being one of the most colorful players out here. But, you know, it's a little different role for you now. You're going to watch son Kyle bowl for the very first time under the same bright lights that you competed under. What's going through your mind right now?
Not much. I'm just dead. I mean, I've never been so nervous in my life. You know, it's his time. I've had my time, and I got news for it. It's a year of the pro.
Guppy, thanks so much for your time. Kyle, obviously lots going on. I know Dad is just a fountain of knowledge and has helped you a tremendous amount with your bowling. But what's the best piece of advice he gave you for today?
You know, just staying loose. You know, you got to stay loose. You know, have fun with the first show. You know I'm not as nervous as he is, so that definitely makes me feel better. But just enjoy the show, enjoy the moment. You know, have fun with it.
Thanks very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Great hair, great outfit. Good to hear from Guppy and Kyle. Randy, thanks for that. Wolf Open already. Andres Gomes moving to 7-3 in his career on TV with a win over Tommy Jones. 15-time PBA Tour title is done for the day. Now it's the youngster Kyle Troup out of Taylorsville, North Carolina. Our third seed to face Gomes, trying to climb the ladder and win a title. Andres has his supporters. Now lives in Weston, Florida, outside Miami, but born and raised in Bogota, Colombia. Gets us started left lane. Not the hit he wanted at all. 2-5 up.
You know, this is what he was talking about with Tim Mack after game 1. And as the urethane bowling balls start to get a little lazy down lane, he'll have to go to reactive resin for more ball reaction. Plain and simple.
Does cover. Has his mark to open up the match. So here's Kyle Troup. The first ever shot on TV in his career. And that outfit is spectacular.
I guess you could say he's the opposite of prosaic.
Yes. Tan pin for the two-hander from North Carolina.
I just loved his answer when I asked him, you know, the advice Dad gave him, and you could just get a sense that his overall attitude coming in was going to be to try to have as much fun as possible. I think that's the best way to attack your first ever time on television.
There's the 10. He's pretty excited about that. Little celebration when it was halfway down the lane.
Well, Jason Belmonte is the paragon of two-handed bowling. Make no mistake about it. But this is very unique in that Kyle Troup only takes 4 steps. There's the 2 hands, no thumb in it. And he likes to go really straight. And in interviewing him prior to today, he told us both he thought he could win on this wolf oil pattern.
All 10 down, left lane, success for Kyle Troup.
I've never heard his dad, Guppy, so nervous and at such a loss for words as they're playing the Partridge Family song.
We heard a lot of that yesterday.
Brilliant.
Sharon Troup here as well. She's in the back there. Kyle's brother here, also in the bow tie.
Never heard that in my life.
Whole family from Taylorsville.
Andres has never heard that song. They didn't have the Partridge Family.
I love the Partridge Family.
In
what a great
Bogota
show in the 70s.
When Andres was growing up.
Reuben Kincaid.
Oh, no.
Look out. 7-10 up, and we know how rare it is to make the 7-10 split on TV.
Well, it's only been converted 3 times on television, and Again, this ball entering the pocket just a little soft. And you can see the 5-pin just barely moves to the left. Andres right now has got to be thinking, when do I go to reactive resin?
Splits them and misses both. An 8-pin count. It's still Jesse Rook. Last time, 7-10 split made on TV, Tucson, Arizona in 1991. It's incredible.
Second time he's missed the 10-pin on that right lane, even though the 7 was standing with it. You know, the construction of bowling centers these days, the new pin decks, the new machines, the way the sidewalls are constructed, it's really hard to get pins to bounce out now.
Work to the channel, but does find the 1-3 pocket. And all 10 down in the left lane for Andres Gomes.
From the right in the right lane.
You know, I've never heard that song. Andre's strike song, I've never heard that one. You? Yeah.
Get some advice from Timmy Mack, his coach. Rebel tank here for Troup. Crosses over and goes Brooklyn.
Yeah, it looked like he kind of stayed in that one a little bit too long and went left of target and through the nose for the 3-10 baby split. Now his spare game is going to be tested early. Got off to a really nice start with the 10-pin and then the strike.
The baby split, not easy. Will not get it, leaves the 3 open frame. Kyle told us about the trip along with fellow bowler Connor Pickford. It was not easy because of the tornadoes in the Shawnee, Oklahoma City area. Cell phone video last week making the drive, and it was pretty scary. Kyle told us a couple times they had to pull over and stop and actually just wait for the hail to pass. They didn't see the funnel, but they did see quite a bit of damage along the interstate. Guardrails ripped up, trucks turned over.
Scary stuff.
Thankfully, they did make it safely. And their car wasn't damaged too badly, but the bucket here for him.
Well, tough spare coming up for Kyle Troup as he is working on an open frame. And this is the bucket, 2-4-5-8.
Does get help and covers off the side wall. He'll take it. Let's take a look at our tough spare replay brought to you by Hammer Ready.
Yeah, well, if this doesn't get the arm swing loose, nothing will. Watch this. 2-pin off the sidewall, takes the 8 out. That was a whiff, and that's a huge break.
Sometimes you need that, right, partner? First TV appearance.
Hey, I'd rather be lucky than good. I heard somebody say that once. I think it was Mike Edwards.
Our outstanding scorekeeper.
Outstanding bowler, player.
Yeah, there's help. Messenger across the deck for number 10.
Well, the last time on that lane, he barely gets the 5 out, and now the messenger comes screaming across and caves in the 10-pin. Watch this pin action. There's the head pin. It came off of that left sidewall pretty fast.
Seventh TV win came today against Tommy Jones. Best years between 2011 and 2013. Made 6 shows, won 2 titles. His only 2. Trying to return to greatness. That's high for 6-10.
Yeah, but it's a good break because it's only the 6-10 and not the 4-7 with it, which would make that the big 4. He said he just got a little soft with this. You could hear him kind of mumbling to himself. And again, it's just the 6-10. However, he's been a little suspect shooting cross-lane spares.
Covers this time. 6-10 down, a mark for Gomes. In the 5th frame, 6-pin lead though. Troup to the 5th, working on a spare. Pin.
Kyle told us that he actually crossed with Jason Belmonte in qualifying. Belmonte bowled a real bad second game that cost him to make the cut. And he watched what Kyle was doing and tried to get there, and it was just a little too late for Belmonte.
The Doug Gottlieb Show, fast-paced and always opinionated. Get to know Gottlieb face-to-face with the Doug Gottlieb Show, weekdays at 3 Eastern on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Kyle Troup coming off of a big win just a couple of weeks ago at the IB Open. Bill O'Neill finished second in that event. And just a couple of weeks prior to that, he won a regional. Remember, this player was the Southeastern Regional Player of the Year twice. Kyle knows how to bowl.
Just hasn't been on TV until today. And left lane success, all 10 down for Kyle Troup.
You think you could pull those pants off, Dave? I mean, like, meaning you wear them?
Absolutely not. But looks good for Afrofish himself, Kyle Troup. Strike here. Close match with Gomes continues when we return to OKC.
We need...
Underway, PBA Wolf Open second match. Troup Gomes head-to-head. Very close 7-pin lead for Andres Gomes of Colombia. It's not the first time Kyle's been on television. Take it back to the 1998 Storm Flagship Open. There's Guppy from Erie, Pennsylvania. Kyle was there to watch his dad compete in the championship round finals. Guppy won the first match. Fellow Steve Jarris in the second in an event eventually won by Walter A. Williams Jr. Guppy had his fans. The biggest fan, there he is. Kyle only 7 years old, watching with Mom Sherry as we take a look at the Columbia 300 fun fact. Guppy Troup won his first title at age 28 at the 78 Kessler Open. Kyle trying to win his first PBA title today at age 23. One of 5 father-son duos, as we talked about, to appear on TV. Guppy yesterday had a fantastic outfit, accented by pink sunglasses. Today going with the blue sunglasses, the white slacks. That man knows fashion. I mean, really. It's impressive.
Very colorful. Very fun. Look at that heavy side coming from Guppy just over the left shoulder of Andres Gomes. Uh-oh.
4-6-7 split up. Misses the pocket.
New ball game now. The Big Four has only been made once on television by Walter A. Williams Jr. This is the Big Four without the 10-pin, so you pretty much have to figure that there's no way Andres is going to make this.
4-7 and no help. Cross lane, so the open frame on the right lane for Gomes. Changes things dramatically here. And Kyle on the bench knows it.
Kyle working on a strike in the 6th, up by 7, can increase that lead. Andres right now just trying to find the pocket again. Last 2 shots have both been high.
Guppy sees the opening as well. Lane level, right at you. 10-pin.
Right now, Andres Gomes is running that computer through his brain, trying to figure out what to do to get the ball to face the pocket the right way. In the back of his mind, he's probably saying, I wonder if I should go to reactive resin. But he's staying with the urethane ball.
And misses the
3 times in 2 games. Players aren't used to a plastic ball curving. 32-foot oil pattern. Andres Gomes is a little soft. Gets the ball a little inside of target.
Now look at the change in score with Kyle on the bench watching. For a 28-pin lead here. Finds it.
And that's what you're supposed to do when you get an opening like Kyle just got. His opponent, Andres Gomes, went back-to-back open frames in the 6th and 7th. Kyle steps up and doubles.
Just like that in the driver's seat.
Watch this tremendous wrist action at the bottom of the swing. The two-hander, no thumb, Kyle Troup.
Comes in way light though and leaves the 2. Guppy, Sherry, Kyle's brother, all watching closely. Right behind. Kyle going for his first victory ever on TV. First appearance today. Covers, picks up the mark.
"12 games of qualifying for these players, six games to make the first cut, another 6 games to make the telecast. Contested at Fire Lake, Lanes, and Shawnee. Players move from that venue over here. The 2 lane surfaces are different. The players think that there's a little bit more friction here in the arena.
Ball 10 down. Right lane. It's the time of the year for dads and grads, so head to the online store at PBA.com for your graduation and Father's Day gift needs. Check out all the latest in PBA apparel and merchandise, including t-shirts, hats, polos, and 2015 PBA yearbooks. Click on the shop link on the PBA.com homepage to get started. Great merchandise available. Oh, those open frames. Foundation frame here. 27-pin deficit for Gomes.
Made a big change there on the right lane, Dave. He actually moved right and then picked his speed up and went a little bit faster and straighter. See if it works here on the left lane. Let's see if he can execute.
Cannot.
Can't tell you how many times I've run into that situation where all of a sudden I try to change speeds and I get a little too aggressive and I overthrow it. And that's exactly what Andres did there. He actually hopped the foul line, and that is just a factor of him trying to throw the ball faster. He's going to be in the 160s with a spare here.
Andres told us yesterday he would be prepared for the different quality of the lane, the environment, the bright lights of TV. He is very cerebral. Mental preparation is a huge part of his game. But today, things did not work out. In the second match. Now the youngster looks to capitalize and advance. Way high.
Yeah, left the target and threw the nose and just left himself with a little tricky conversion here.
Look at Guppy back there. Guppy can't stand it.
10.
He just wants the match over with.
What did he say? It was the year of the Fro?
Fro Nation.
I think there's small animals living in there.
Does pick it up. Guppy can't go after anymore, of course. Still looks great.
Guppy had a Fro back in the day.
Pictures are great.
Yeah, he had a nice Fro back in the day.
Just 9 pins now to shut out Gomes in advance. Guppy told us yesterday that on extra frame, he was watching Kyle try to qualify and get to the TV finals. Running all around the house. Just couldn't stand it. In between shots, he was so nervous.
I traveled to quite a few tour stops with Guppy Troup in his motorhome back in the day. Guppy always traveled in a really nice motorhome. He would give young players like myself, up-and-coming players like myself at the time, rides to tour events, and he was just that kind of guy.
And he's watching his son advance to the next round, stepladder finals. Guppy is pumped because Kyle Troup has knocked off Andres Gomes. And he'll take on Bill O'Neill, former PBA Tour Rookie of the Year. Should be a great match. Debut on TV for Troup, successful today from OKC. '23-year-old Kyle Troup from Taylorsville, North Carolina. Very successful in his first ever TV appearance, a 40-pin win over Andres Gomes from Colombia to advance to the next round. Time out for the M&I flashback. Let's recap the 2014 Wolf Open. What a way to start and finish last year's Wolf event. Former PBA Player of the Year Sean Rash started the event by rolling the 23rd televised 300-game PBA history. Knocked off defending Wolf Open champ Chris Loschetter. Didn't stop there. Threw 37 strikes out of a possible 48 in claiming the Wolf Open title. After defeating Loschetter, Rash went on to victories over Martin Martin, 225, 221. Michael Fagan, 241, 214. And top qualifier Chris Barnes, 238, 179. Only 2 open frames in his 4 games, earned his 8th career PBA Tour title. Sean Rash, the defending champ, but not here in the Wolf Open 5-man field this year to win in 2015. Bill O'Neill, success here in OKC a year ago, looks for more this year. He'll take on youngster Kyle Troup when we return.
From the biggest name in
Troup O'Neill set to go head-to-head our third match. Wolf Open, PBA Tour Summer Swing on CBS Sports Network. Some coaching with Brett Spangler moments ago.
I mean, I'm not even
urethane one. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying the urethane wants to get forward. I mean, that's why Andres' pocket was so small.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see it.
I mean, you think the Forza is a better play?
I mean, if you wanted to stay left.
Well, what I did, like, you know, the first shot, the second ball in 10th, I threw with it. You know, I threw it, but then I moved 2 right, and I'm staying in this, you know, a round roll, and it's still, and I threw it a little harder though, and it's still like head pin in front of it. Maybe I think I'm gonna go with the Forza and maybe just gear down, just a hair.
Good coaching there from Brett Spangler. Chatting with Kyle Troup, Bill O'Neill, 5-time PBA Tour titleist, won here at the Summer Swing as we talked about a year ago. Former PBA Tour Rookie of the Year. Takes on Kyle next. Marshall Kent, looking for his second ever title, is the top seed.
Yeah, take a look at where the players have been playing. You can see the blue oil starting to get beat up pretty good in this area right there, right around the 3, 4, 5 board. Laydown area is about 6, 7, and that area is getting a lot of traffic. Boy, you can really see it right there. Great shot from overhead. Kyle Troup now changing bowling balls. He's actually going to go to reactive.
Left lane. 8 stands for Kyle Troup. Don't see Guppy behind with brother Tyler and mom Sherry.
Just a little light, leaving the 8-pin in that conversation that Kyle had with his tour rep, Brett Spangler. It was all about trying to figure out the best road to the pocket. A high game thus far on the telecast today, 215.
There's Guppy, he's back.
And that was in game 1 by Andres Gomes. So low scores, low scoring environment. But right now, Kyle Troup's taking on a seasoned veteran in Bill O'Neill. And Bill O'Neill, last year at the Summer Swing, well, let's just say He owned it.
On the right lane, O'Neal. 10-pin for Bill from just outside Philadelphia. Well, the Badger Open here a year ago, part of the summer swing. Number 1 seed, knocked off Brian Valent in the title match, 244-235. Good memories for Bill at the summer swing here in OKC.
He made every telecast except this one. Now, this is just a real solid game. But Bill told us he's been working with his dad on keeping his body moving. He would get a little bit late at the start, which would make the ball get to the top of the swing late, and then he would have to pull down from the top. Well, that's not the case now. As long as he gets the ball into the swing soon enough, that'll keep the feet moving, and he's timed up really good when he does that.
McLean. 4-8-10. Challenging pickup, to say the least here.
He certainly didn't expect this result.
All right.
Comes in light, leaves the 4-8-10. Bill thought that was a pretty good shot just based on his reaction.
Oh, come on. Didn't like it. 10 stands, open frame early for Bill O'Neal.
Okay, sick.
So he's 1-0 in his career on TV now. Would love to make it 2-0 and knock off PBA star Bill O'Neal. Oh, 10 down. Crunching him into the pit. We asked Kyle about trying to beat Dad Guppy. It's not easy to do when he was growing up. What was that like?
Start out to be $20 a game, because I could hardly ever beat him. And then I got a little bit older, get around 13, 14. Then it was $5 a game. And then get a little bit older. Whenever I got about 18, then he started asking for pins. That was one thing he taught me: never give anybody pins. So that never worked out too well. So I'd say probably about 17, 18. I was getting close, but now he just tries to stay within about 15 pins.
And Guppy watches proudly as his son has 60 feet to success on the left lane and expands the lead.
Two really nice shots back-to-back by Kyle Troup. Exactly what his dad was hoping for after Bill O'Neal's open frame, I promise you that.
Took advantage. Double wood. 2-8.
All of a sudden, Bill's bowling ball's not making the corner. And that's why he's coming back scratching his head. And he fully expected that ball to catch a lot more of the head pin.
Bill's been battling some injuries, told us yesterday, feels rejuvenated. Healthy for the first time in a while, 100%. Covers nicely in the double wood. And why wouldn't he feel good after, as Randy talked about, he made 4 of the 5 shows here a year ago at the Summer Swing. His arsenal.
Tourex solid, even though it's a little less aggressive than obviously other stuff in his arsenal. It's still reactive resin. It's not urethane. Big difference in cover stocks, Dave. Urethane cover stock is, well, again, that's what we used back in the 80s.
Whoa! Crosses way over the head pin. A wild-looking shot on the 1-3, still up.
Wow. Well, that was the result of back-to-back shots that went light. Bill tried to give this one a little bit more hand, and the ball just hit the lane and grabbed immediately. And as soon as it did that on 32 feet, it's going left. 32-foot oil pattern. Lots of friction up front, lots of friction overall.
Does cover. 1-3 down in the spare. But he is in a big hole here against the youngster Kyle Troup.
And if you're Kyle Troup, this is what you were dreaming of last night in your hotel room before you went to sleep. This opportunity, and your opponent's giving you opportunities like this. Now it's up to him to take advantage.
Fourth frame, works on a double. Has a turkey.
Now take a look at Kyle's setup. You can see that left hand in front, right hand underneath, thumb not in the bowling ball. And that power and rotation at release. Boy, what a nice break he just got in the fourth. You see it, putting that ball in the palm of his hand, cupping it throughout the entire swing, and then it's like throwing a yo-yo into the lane at release.
This for a 46-pin lead. Bucket there, the 2-4-5-8-9. What Guppy wanted to see.
Again, another one of our players throwing a really good shot that they like off their hand and then coming back with the old head scratcher. And again, Kyle Troup shooting the bucket.
Doesn't cover, 8 stands.
Well, he missed it like that last time, only the 2-pin came off the sidewall and took the 8 out. And this time it came across but went behind the 8-pin. So Bill O'Neill had a few minutes of trying to sitting in a seat, trying to figure out what's the next move. Last 2 shots light and then crosses over.
Good frame, still in the max though. Rather light.
How in the world does that not hook?
2-8-10 split. Can't take advantage of Troup's struggles.
Last 4 shots, it's the 4-8-10, 2-8, crosses over, misses the head pin, and now a 2-8-10.
Come on, Bill, come on, get in there!
Cannot cover, 10 stands, open frame again. Bill O'Neill.
The 2-8-10's only been made twice on television, once by Dick Allen, once by Mika Koivuniemi not too long ago at the PBA League Championship.
So Roll Tech stats at the Wolf Open.
Never missed a single pin spare in 12 games. Pretty good stuff.
Ball change here. He needs answers quickly. On the left lane. 4. Looking to the heavens for answers.
Yeah,
he can't find them, Randy.
Joke, right?
He's looking for some help. He's not really sure what's going to happen when the ball leaves his hand.
He is in trouble to the youngster Kyle Troup, whose debut so far has been spectacular. Troup, the big lead, trying to close out Bill O'Neill when we return to OKC. Bill O'Neill, 05-06 PBA Rookie of the Year, 7-time Team USA member, an All-American at Saginaw Valley State, 4 times, 3-time Collegiate Bowler of the Year, is in a big hole against the youngster Kyle Troup out of North Carolina. Sometimes all that experience, all the accolades, when you get under the bright lights, doesn't matter. Facing this confident youngster. Looks for help with the scout across the deck. Doesn't get the 10. Boy, he had some serious power on that strike ball tip.
Yeah, there was a lot of wood being slung across this lane here. Watch, the head pin goes behind the 10 pin. I mean, he was throwing pins everywhere. Pretty good shot out of the commercial break, and Kyle Troup looking for a spare to maintain a 34-10 lead.
Which he's got. Get your morning jolt with CBS Sports Network. Craig Carton, former NFL MVP Boomer Esiason, give us their take on all the latest around the world of sports. Boomer and Carton, weekday mornings at 6 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network.
You know, I think the one person that we haven't really talked about a whole lot on today's telecast is Marshall Kent. And I can only imagine what he's thinking, watching the scores, watching the ball reactions, as he waits in the wings to bowl one game for the title. His first title on U.S. soil. He did win an event overseas. But watching this has got to make you scratch your head as well now.
Troup gets help on number 10. The pick comes out.
I'm sexy and I know it.
Fro Nation. Hashtag Frofish. Our Barbasol close shave of the day.
Look at the revolutions on that bowling ball. Why it's not breaking all the way across the lane is why he puts speed on it, but great pin action.
First time we've seen the pick out to the throw. Sweet. That comes a little high, and 6 stands. 10 stands. Still here for Bill O'Neill, who has never quite figured out the TV pair here. Are you surprised, Randy?
Extremely surprised. You know, Bill O'Neill last year in this event, not the Wolf event, but here at the Summer Swing, it was against Brian Valenta, the Badger Open. He said he bowled probably his greatest game ever on television
yesterday.
In beating Brian Valenta 244, 235, and Bill obviously needing to strike out in the 10th frame to get that win. But for him not to be able to figure this out is very surprising. He's too good.
Not Bill O'Neill's day. So not a repeat of his greatness from 2014 here in OKC, when he was just unstoppable.
He got fooled in practice. You know, he saw something in practice, went with it, and as soon as the game started, ball started to bail down lane, and he was trapped.
So the spectacularly adorned Kyle Troup, youngster, flamboyant, doesn't advance.
Well,
Two-pin there.
Let me just say this. Now, obviously, it's a big lead by Kyle, but Bill O'Neill can still strike out to shoot 199. Kyle Troup's just at 204. So there's still a little bit of bowling left to be done.
There's the spare. Stays clean. The youngster had the adventurous trip here, avoiding a tornado. He sent through this area on the way here to Shawnee.
He said it was the scariest.
Terrified.
The scariest thing that's ever happened to him.
Thought the hail was going to come through the roof of his car.
Yeah.
A brand new car, by the way. Luckily, he made it just fine. Brooklyn, 6.
9 spare the rest of the way is really all he needs. Spare here, 9 spare in the 10th frame. He'll shoot 201. We still have a match.
Hang on a minute.
That's what happens when you get a little bit ahead of yourself, you lose a little bit of concentration, and you're going on a lot of friction. Andres Gomes, we saw him miss 3 10 pins. He got it inside a target, and it was just enough to make it check and miss left of the 6 pin. Now, Bill O'Neill can strike out to shoot 199. He would force Kyle Troup to double in the 10th.
Needs this, has it. All of a sudden, the tables turn very quickly. for the 5-time Tour champ Bill O'Neill.
That's a double for O'Neill, cutting the lead.
What a great shot here for Bill O'Neill on the right lane. He's been through quite a lot this game. 2 open frames and then not throwing his first strike until the 8th frame. But right now, Bill O'Neill still has a chance to win and move on to the title match.
And a hurry it did. Into the 1-3 pocket. Cuts the lead to 3.
This is the biggie coming up because this forces Kyle Troup to double in the 10th frame. If Bill O'Neill strikes out, Kyle Troup would have to throw a double and 8. Now he's doing what every veteran does. He's going to take a re-rack. He's going to buy some time. Kyle Troup sitting on the bench with lots of time to think about his upcoming 10th frame.
Extra time for the re-rack. Needed help on the 10 and didn't get it.
Pretty good shot there. A little unlucky not carrying that shaker 10. Kyle Troup now needs a mark and good count in the 10th frame to move on.
There's the 10 pin, did cover the spare. So O'Neill shoots a 188.
Any mark and good count. 17 pins is all he needs to fill here in the 10th.
Big strike for the kid.
Wow, that almost looked like it was going in the right gutter. And then it just stays on the lane and then goes high flush. Watch this.
Flirting with that channel. It was close, Randy. And Guppy loves it.
Guppy's going to have a nervous breakdown.
Has the count he needs. Has the win. The Partridge Family theme plays again for the retro old school look of Kyle Troup from Taylorsville, North Carolina, tiny town northwest of Charlotte. First ever TV time for the youngster. He's through to the championship match. With the Afro pick, gotta love that. Kyle Troup, 23 years old from Taylorsville, North Carolina, has knocked out PBA star Bill O'Neill, 202-188 to make the championship match. He'll take on Marshall Kent, just 22 years old, one-time winner on the PBA Tour from Yakima, Washington. Big collegiate star at Robert Morris, Illinois. Did win once in Saudi Arabia, but not on TV. He's 0-4 in career on television. And now, one time, he was looking up to role models, mentors. And now the youngster is facing them head-to-head on the lanes.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little starstruck at first because, you know, obviously I grew up watching them on TV, and so when I see them in person, it's like, wow, that's who I watched on TV my entire life. And you know, the first couple tournaments, it was a little hard to adjust to, but now I kind of see them more as rivals than anything, or, you know, opponents. And you know, we're good friends off the lane, but on the lanes, it's, you know, it's stiff competition, and, you know, it's cutthroat, to say the least.
A year ago, Badger Open finished 4th, lost his first match to Brian Valenta, 236-165. Now, at the top seed, he goes for a title against Kyle Troup next. Get to this point of the match, let's take a look at our Geico Championship recap.
Now, match number 1 was Andres Gomes taking on Tommy Jones, and It was all about Andres throwing great shots and kicking the 10 out. He wins 215 to 195. And then match number 2, Andres would take on the newcomer, Kyle Troup. Fear the fro. Oh, that's 10 in the pin. Kyle Troup takes Andres Gomes to the mat, 203 to 163. And then in the last match, Kyle would then take on Bill O'Neill. Kyle throws a great shot in the 10th frame to lock it up. And remember, Dave, it's not how you feel, it's how you look. And Kyle, you look marvelous.
Fabulous. Wolf oil pattern, 32 feet. Randy, how's it broken down?
Well, you can see the fresh oil right there on your screen. No transition, no traffic. But take a look after 3 games and look at how this oil pattern's getting beat up. This oil pattern's really turned into a very tricky oil pattern where there's a little bit of hang to the inside part of the lane, a little bit of hang to the outside part of the lane. Players have to be very precise. Choose your line, your speed, and your equipment wisely.
Here we go, partner. Championship match. PBA Wolf Open, Summer Swing. On CBS Sports Network, Kent Troup for the title.
Another ball change. I don't know if it's the same ball he started with in his first match against Andres, but definitely a different ball than he used last game.
Crossing over Brooklyn strike. Wow, he'll take it.
If it ain't Brooklyn, it ain't Poland.
Same ball he started with against Andres Gomes in match number 2. He goes back to it.
Now here's Kent, the youngster from Yakima, Washington, only 22 years old, second-year pro, former collegiate star at Robert Morris of Illinois. Been waiting and watching, now he's bowling. Great start on the right lane, all 10 back.
You know, Dave, I can't remember the last time we had a match, let alone a title match, that involved 2 players that only use a 4-step approach. In today's modern game, all you see is a lot of steps. On average, at least 5, most of the time 6, 5.5, but there's the 4-step approach of Marshall Kent and Kyle Troup also using a 4-step approach. He does have a little stutter step in there, but it's still 4 steps. This kid here's got some serious maple moxie, though.
But the big 4 is up. Wow, 4, 6, 7, 10. As we know, it's only been made once on TV, 2005. When I called it, Norcross, Georgia, outside Atlanta. Walter Ray Williams Jr.
Yeah,
10 years ago.
Trying to make the big 4 is kind of like trying to read a Russian newspaper upside down.
Good luck. So the 4-7 taken out, 6-10 up, open frame early for Marshall Kent, our top seed. Walter Ray is participating in the summer swing. We asked him yesterday about making that big 4, and he said, big deal, I lost the tournament. If I had won the tournament, then yes, it'd be a better memory. Here's Troup, taking advantage.
Nice shot there after the Brooklyn strike on the left lane. Nothing's distracting this young man. He's just putting his fingers in the 2 holes and getting up there and going. Felt if he could make the felt he could make the show on this oil pattern. He likes this oil pattern. He likes the short oil patterns where he can get right and really use his speed. And he really felt that he could win on this. Well, he's only a couple of frames away from achieving that.
Turkey to start, you bet. 3 in a row to begin the match. And a big lead for Kyle Troup. Dad Guppy, 8-time PBA Tour titleist. Brother and mom right behind Marshall Kent right now.
Well, my key to victory for Marshall Kent was to get off to a quick start, and especially if he was going to bowl Kyle Troup and put pressure on the young man immediately, being his first time bowling for a title. But Marshall with the big 4 in the second frame, not able to do that.
Didn't like it on release, and that's why. 3-6, 9-10, 6-pin count. That's it.
Difficult attempt coming up now. Is take a look at this last shot by Marshall. A little bit left of target and goes through the face. You can see that ball just grab the lane immediately. This whole pattern's turned into be very, very difficult, very tricky.
Doesn't come. 6-10 stands. Open frame again. Look at the lead for Troup early here, Randy.
Get a camera on Guppy. Let's see what his face looks like.
Guppy's real name is John, by the way. The Guppy nickname comes from his high school bowling team, was nicknamed the Guppies, growing up in North Carolina.
Promise you what's going through Guppy's mind right now is his son is just a couple more shots away from winning his first ever title.
Arsenal for Kent, using the pitch black here on the left lane. In a massive hole. It is early. Come back, maybe it starts here. All 10 down, needed that.
Well, he needs to do a lot more of this, obviously, but the back-to-back open frames after the start, Kyle Troup has the last player to win their first ever time on television was Anthony Pepe back in 2014 at the World Series of Bowling.
That comes in light and leaves the double wood. 2 8s. Trying for the front 4.
So he points his feet to the right, and then he squares them up, gets those feet moving.
Double wood covers and has his mark.
.44-pin advantage for Kyle Troup. Wonder what's going through that young man's mind right now. Hopefully for him, not much.
Strikes again. Strikes for Kyle Troup for the first 5 frames, and he is in great shape en route to his first career championship. 44-pin lead on Marshall Kent. Championship match, top seed Marshall Kent has struck in the 5th and 6th frames. Make a move down 24 pins now. The youngster from Taylorsville, North Carolina, Kyle Troup. Dad Guppy behind him, won 8 PBA Tour titles, 41 regionals in his great career. He's not bowling today, he's watching his son. Let's go up 34 pins, has it!
Beautiful shot here on the right lane by Kyle Troup. increasing his lead from 24 to 34 as the solid 8 is standing, and the ball gets just enough of it. And the reaction from his dad, Guppy, priceless.
Guppy in 1979 set a PBA Tour record at 6 perfect games. Really had a great career. Now it's about Kyle. Pro Nation's got another one.
Really nice equipment change. Great communication with his tour rep, Brett Spangler. And some great execution right now by that young man right there.
Answers Kent's double with back-to-back strikes of his own. Back up by 44 pins. Didn't like it at all. That's why Brooklyn break, though. He does strike. Couldn't even watch.
As soon as it let go of his, or as soon as it left his hand, he knew it was going left, and fortunate enough to catch enough of the head pin and carry that Brooklyn strike, but he's in a lot of trouble. Kyle Troup is locked in. Marshall Kent, even though he's working on a 4-bagger, I'm not so sure that he's sold on what he's doing right now.
Main level look at it. Leaves the 10. Marshall told us yesterday, thumb injury.
What are you doing?
75%. Actually made the cut in a recent event, bowling two-handed.
Well, I've seen Marshall throw it with 2 hands. It's pretty impressive. But, you know, Marshall's gone through the same thing that Tommy Jones went through, that Andres went through, that Bill O'Neill went through. Missing 10 pins.
Nice shot, kid.
Scratching their heads after they come back from shots. Not really understanding what's going on in front of them. Kyle Troup really is the only guy that, or the only player today that's really had a good blueprint of what's going on out there on the lanes in terms of how they've transitioned. Kyle's only hiccup was the last game against Bill O'Neill when he did miss a single pin spare, but other than that, he's been pretty solid, just bowling steady games. 203 against Andres, 202 against Bill O'Neill.
10 more down, and Guppy loves it.
And this is going to be a lot more than 2-0. That strike there puts him in the 240s. The best Marshall Kent can shoot right now is 211. He just needs to stay behind the foul line. Kyle Troup is going to win his first ever PBA title.
He does that. 3-6, 9-10 coming in way high. Foundation frame, but he still smiles. Looking at the big lead he's got. Oh, just Guppy's overcome by emotion back there. That's just got to be so special. Nine stands open. 212, the number there. And that is enough to win. He has clinched his first career PBA title in his first ever PBA televised appearance. How about that for Kyle Troup?
Now you throw it good.
Hashtag Fear the Fro. Hashtag Fro Nation. It's Kyle Troup with Dad Guppy watching. Guppy's 8th and final title came in 1985 in Austin, Texas. Today, his son is the man.
Oklahoma's Grand Casino Resort PBA Summer Swing Wolf Open on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Roto-Grip. Your time is now. Own it. And by Brunswick. Find your next ball at bowlwithbrunswick.com.
History made here today in Oklahoma City. 50-pin victory. Kyle Troup over Marshall Kent, the top seed, 229-179. Guppy Troup, his dad, 8-time PBA Tour titleist. Tough to contain your emotions when your son, first ever PBA TV appearance, wins his first ever title. Randy, joined by the happy family.
Well, congratulations, Troup family. Now, Guppy, I got to ask you first. I know how hard it was for you to sit back there and watch all of this unfold. Can you tell me how you're feeling now?
I'm feeling great. You know, I bowled a lot of TV shows. Never been that nervous before, but that's the worst thing I ever went through.
Are you glad it's over now?
Oh, I am glad it's over.
We're glad you made it through it, Gup. Kyle, man, what a performance. You know, we had some great players on the telecast, and everybody struggled with the transition of this oil pattern, but it seemed like you were the only one that was really comfortable. Can you explain that?
You know, that was part of my game plan going in, you know, just with all the urethane that was going to go down the lane in practice, you know, along with me throwing my urethane ball. You know, I knew the lanes were going to get ugly. You know, I could see it, you know, watching all my opponent's ball reactions. You know, I tried to just stay calm, you know. I didn't think it was going to take too much to win these matches, and, you know, I felt like Schrader's greater today. Describe what this win means to you at this stage in your young career. This is unbelievable feeling. You know, I had a great tournament a couple weeks ago. You know, I thought that was a great feeling, but this one tops that 100%. You know, first national title. You know, I think it's gonna take a few days to realize, you know, I actually won this, but it's definitely the biggest achievement of my life so far. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
What a moment for the Troup family. Third time PBA history, father-son duo, champions of the PBA Tour, joining the Webbers, the Johnsons, and now the Troups. More coming up.